Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, presented by Stakes. We continue our preview of football games for week 3 involving SEC teams. Today we get to our last one, Florida and South Florida. The Gators, 24.5-point favorites, over under of 58.5 on this one as of Tuesday morning. Florida, of course, had a huge win over Utah to probably extinguish Utah's college football playoff hopes, followed by a disappointment, a loss to Kentucky in which the offense was horrible. AR-15 was not very good. The defense was there. But could this be a bounce-back game for the Gators against a team that has beaten Howard and lost by 29 to BYU?
Well, you would hope it's a bounce-back game for Florida because,
if this isn't it, then where is it?
You would hope so because, yeah, and we said we've done obviously multiple videos this week, and we did our reaction over the weekend to the Florida Kentucky game, and I always say I don't want to overreact to one performance, and I don't think we did our power rankings. I'm still higher on Florida probably than most of our staff is at this point, but I think it's just. I don't know. I think this is, but like even this week, right? Like we're not going to probably learn a ton about Florida this week. I think just in this game, they should take care of business. I think it's all eyes are on Anthony Richardson here to see kind of what he looks like. But I think even if he's flawless here, there's still going to be questions. Maybe against an opponent like Kentucky, right? A team that just kind of can come out and punch you in the mouth defensively at times, and with that kind of style, and so. Yeah, this is one of those games where I think if you're Florida, we always, it's kind of like we talked about with LSU after the Florida State game, kind of like we're talking about with some of these other teams, A&M going into this Miami game. You just want to see what kind of the bounce back is like, and I think Billy Napier is just kind of judging by his coaching style over the years. I think he's the kind of guy that will have his guys up and ready to go out there, and every single play is going to be important and those kind of things in this game. So, Florida's the better team here, but I think you want to see a lot of things on that offense, and specifically, again, all eyes are going to be on Anthony Richardson here just to see what he looks like from a form standpoint in this game.
Well, look, he should have opportunities to put up numbers, which he has done at times against some bad teams. And not that he's not capable of doing it against good teams, but he is coming off a performance where he was bad against a really good defense. South Florida so far has given up 35 points. It's allowing 6.3 yards a carry and 241 rushing yards a game. Again, this includes a game against Howard.
Yeah.
Passing-wise, it is giving up 7.4 per attempt, 256 a game. So that's 497 yards of offense that it allows at a clip of 6.8 yards a snap. Sometimes there are games that just like better athletes are able to take over against bad teams, and this to me just reads like one. I mean, Florida's got some running backs who can carry the ball. It's got several of them who are pretty good. I just think Florida can attack USF with a lot of weapons, and it feels like this is a get-right game for that offense.
And I think the defense too for Florida is something here because I feel like, because all we've really talked about is just kind of the offense and Anthony Richardson. We're talking Heisman race and all that after week 1. And, and we understand like the offense is going to get a lot of the attention. But, I still think there have been some things that Florida's defense has done pretty well. Because, I mean, even look at last week, right? Where it's just the offense put them in a position last week to kind of be in that spot that they were in, a couple turnovers and just not being able to drive the ball consistently or to be able to, to put up points. So I think even something that's to think about here with the Florida defense too, is I think they'll be able to make plays in a game like this one, I would imagine. Something you pointed out, South Florida was 112 in our composite rankings that you do each week, where you look at, all the different models and polls and that kind of stuff and put them all together. 112 out of 131.
131.
So, that kind of gives you a gauge on where maybe South Florida is at this point versus a Florida who, like we said, beats a top 10 team to start the season, struggles against a now top 10 team in Kentucky in week 2. So certainly Florida's been tested to this point, and I think that's something that will help in this kind of game. You always wonder, is there going to be kind of the look ahead, right? Because we know who Florida plays next week, Chris. So um, I don't. I think though it would be different if Florida had won, against Kentucky and just looked stellar and just clicking on all cylinders after 2 weeks. But the fact is, they didn't play great against Kentucky, and I think this is. We kind of talked about the rat poison, and that's like the thing now, right? Like Nick Saban will use that coming out of Texas. I think Sark's even brought up
Yeah,
rat poison now, so he's got everybody on the train. But Billy Napier, a former Saban guy,
Saban
um,
guy.
he's going to have that as well. I think to be able to use this week and really get Florida up for this game would be my hope. If I was a Florida fan, that's what I would want to see. So I think, like you said, I think Florida's just a you know better overall in terms of just skill across in a lot of different areas, and I think that's something that they will be able to kind of exploit in this game. But again, we can talk all we want about a lot of stuff, but I think it's possible look ahead to Tennessee is the only thing maybe that would keep this closer than you would think, but I don't think so. I think this is get
Not
right.
after that.
Yeah, I think this is get right, and again, like it or not, everybody's going to be talking about Anthony Richardson and what he looks like in this game.
Well, I've also got a point on something that got overlooked last week because we tend to look at winning and losing, and that obscures sometimes when you win the places where you struggle, maybe unless you're Alabama, and when you lose, people tend to look a lot at that and forget some of the good. So I've got a point on that in just a minute after a word from our sponsor, Steaks. Big games coming up this week. To add a little extra excitement, we at Southeastern 14 are making predictions in the Stakes app, including a couple on this game. We want to hear from you guys if you agree or disagree with our takes. So go to playwithstakes.com/14. Sign up for Stakes. Place your prediction on our question. If you use the invite code Southeastern14 when you sign up, you get a double welcome bonus. Always free at Stakes. There's no downside to this. You get to bet, you get to brag when you beat us. You don't spend any money, and you can win stuff. What's not to like about that? So help us out with our partners over at Stakes. Have some fun for yourself, and have a lot to follow along with this week as you watch SEC games. So get in that app today and have some fun. Okay, Blake, Florida last week held Kentucky to 272 yards of total offense. And again, this is a Kentucky team with Will Levis at quarterback, who a lot of people think is going to be a first-round pick. No, Kentucky does not have Chris Rodriguez Jr., but Cavoisier Smoke and some other guys on that offense have been around plenty in the SEC. 1.8 yards per carry for Kentucky. Florida's defense struggled against Utah, got better in week 2. I think that got overlooked. Again, I've said I think this is the type of game where Richardson can have a get-right game. We've seen him put up big numbers against overmatched teams. This just screams Florida to me. I don't know about the over. I might lean the under, but I think Florida can handle this without much of a problem. What do you think?
What is it? Florida minus 24? Is that what it is?
24.5, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would take Florida to cover that. I think they'll come out clicking here. I feel like that's just the best call on this one. Like you said, I brought up earlier, I think the defense will probably be able to force some turnovers here and make some easy plays and give Anthony Richardson the offense a bit of a shorter field to work with. I think we'll see that maybe a couple times in this game, and that will ease some of that pressure a bit on the offense. And I think that again, Richardson is a very talented player. He had a bad game against Kentucky. I'm not going to sit here and write him off as some people have enjoyed doing over the past week. I think that I think you'll be able to see what he is capable of in this game. But again, you want to see it moving forward. But this is the next game, so you want to see it here, and I think that they'll be able to come out and do those kind of things. And yeah, I'll probably go with Florida to cover that 24.5. So.
Join us in the Stakes app. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon.